Hey guys, and welcome to another mobility session. Today's focus is hips. It's also going to work through the spine a little bit. You can do these mobility sessions as a standalone. You can do them before a workout, you can do them after a workout, you can do them at any point during the day if you're feeling a little bit tight. Hopefully it'll help open up those hips a little bit as well as the other joints and hopefully make you feel good. Just got the sunglasses on because the sun is beaming, but I'm going to take it off now. We're going to come into our first exercise. What I would say as well is that we have some blocks, so you can also use books. We have a blanket, you can also use a pillow. That's what we're going to use for these ones today potentially. So we're going to start by doing a seated glute trunk twist, or there's lots of different names for it, but we're going to keep our right leg bent. Our left knee bent. And we're going to bring our right foot over, so you can see that it's over on the outside of my thigh. Then I'm going to hold onto my knee, so I'm almost like hugging it, and then I'm going to add a bit of rotation in there. So keeping that chest up, don't have to go all out straight away. This one is a hold. Okay, so I want you to keep your chest up and then hold that rotation or hold that twist. Big deep breaths. Main areas we could probably feel it around the glute, maybe into the lower back as well, guys. It's a good position. Remember, we want to try and keep that chest up and just breathe through the movement. So you're going to be here for about another 90 seconds, maybe a little bit less. So we've got about 2 minutes on each side today. So sometimes we hold the stretch in a static way, like so, or sometimes we move through the movement. Both are really good to help open up areas. So this is going to stretch the glute. We have got some dogs next door today, so there may be a little bit of barking occasionally. I won't obviously talk through it, but just before here they started screaming at me. So yeah, just to give you the heads up. So we've got about another 15 seconds or so. So I'm just going to get you to take a big deep breath in. And maybe just add a little bit more rotation if you can, so add a little bit more, so maybe getting up to sort of the 80% mark with regards to effort, and then slowly release, and then we're going to swap legs. So you'll just release that leg, so now it's going to be the right leg that's bent. I'm just doing the opposite side so you can mirror you, and then that left foot over. In truth, it doesn't really matter what side you start on. If you do one side and then you say you're doing the left and I'm doing the right, who cares? Just do the other one on the next time. It's pretty simple. Keep that chest up. It's a shame we can't show you the beautiful views of where I am today, just because of where the sun is. But hopefully in the afternoon, once the sun goes over a little bit, I can get some nice views of where I am in Mallorca, in a place called Galilea. Really, really beautiful little town west of Palma. Makes me sound way more glam than I am. I am not. So you've got about 1 minute to go. Keep that chest up. Remember, you can add a little bit more of the twist in if it feels good. I don't want to ever be in a position where I'm struggling to breathe, so like having to force the breath, or anywhere where I've got any pain or anything like that. We're looking at no more than 80% of our maximum effort through the stretch. Got about 40 seconds to go now. Keep that chest up. "20 seconds, we're looking for a couple more deep breaths. One more breath. And then slowly release. So we're going to add a little rotation in now. I'm going to turn that volume down a little bit. So we're going to lie down on our back now. So we're going to lie down on our back and we're going to do some rotation. So this is more dynamic. We've only got 3 minutes of this. And you're going to start by keeping your knees over your hips and then the feet off the ground, and we're just going to start to rotate. You can have your hands wherever you like, really. You can have them out, but I want to try and keep the shoulders down on the ground, so that's your sticking point. If you find that your shoulders are coming up off the ground, you've gone too far. Couple of options here. You can straighten the leg that goes over the body and then do a little tap with the toe. You can straighten the leg and keep the knee bent and rotate over. That's okay as well. Kind of got to do what works for you today. You can also keep your knees over the hips at all times. So I always just encourage you to explore the movement, explore the positioning. What feels good one day might not necessarily feel good the other, and that's okay. It's about having no judgment towards that, getting frustrated if one day you have to take a step sideways in order to go forward. So you've got about halfway to go now, guys. So we're just looking to rotate and keep going. And remember, you can pause in a position if you like, if that feels good. Just hang out there for a second. And keep swapping. I've had a little bit of sciatica recently. If you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it, just Google it. But it's basically a nerve pain going down from anywhere sort of the top, lower part of the back, top of the glute, all the way down the leg. It's dependent and different for everyone. I've definitely had that recently, but these mobility sessions that I've been doing have definitely helped release some of the tension through the hips. So you've got about a minute to go. Okay, so just keep rotating. Hopefully this is going to help open up that lower back a little bit. And you'll notice that some of these exercises that we do what I call cross-coding. So, you know, we may do the same exercises in certain mobility classes just because the flow of the class, I like to keep the flow of the class consistent, or making sure that it flows correctly. So it's not a big deal. It's not a cop-out. It's just sometimes we have to do the same exercise, right? Okay, relax, guys. So we're going to stay on our back, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to put our right foot on our left thigh. So I'm going to push into my right thigh a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit of rotation, but not as much. So I'm going to stay pushed into that inside thigh. Trying to keep that shoulder down. Obviously the other one will come up, pushing into that thigh as much as you can, but don't be too aggressive with it. We're only going to do this for a minute on one side and a minute on the other. Just want about another 15 seconds. And then just release that leg and swap sides. So just bring that left foot now onto that right thigh. Push down and then rotate. So I want you to try and keep the pressure on the inside thigh, which means that you don't rotate too much, otherwise you'll probably lose that tension. We've got about 20 seconds to go before we move on to the next exercise. Keep pushing down. And then just relax. Oof. So we're going to come up into a squat position, so a low deep squat position. We're not going to be here for long. If you need to come out of it at any point, you can. What we're going to do is just touch our knee down and then come back. If you want to put your hands down each time, you can do that. That's absolutely fine. But I'm just trying to get some what's called internal rotation, so bringing the movement of the hip inwards. If you need to come up and stand up and shake it off like Taylor Swift at any point, you can do that. That's absolutely fine. If you can keep your hands up off the ground, great, but it's not a prereq. It's actually pretty tough staying in this deep squat for a long time. And there's another mobility class where we're actually going to hang out here for 3 minutes. So it's really good to get used to sitting in this position. It's a really natural position for us, but it's become unnatural over time with the nature of our sedentary lifestyle and the way that our lifestyles are changing. We've got about a minute to go, just under. Just a tiny tap, remember, with that knee. Any kind of knee pain you can only come to here, that's fine. Work with what you got today. Last 20 seconds to go. And just last one, and relax. So you can shake it off a little bit. We're going to do like a half frog stretch now. So, it's called a broken frog stretch. So basically you're going to come like you would do this tactical frog, so knees quite wide over the, over the hips, in line with the hips, and then you're just going to bring one leg out, get your foot flat. We're then going to just come forwards and then sit down back into the hips. So main areas, feeling on the inside leg here, but also in this inside high a little bit as I sit back, but mainly in that straightened out leg. You don't have to keep your chest up, but I just want you to really focus on the hips going forwards and backwards, but the rest of the body kind of really remaining static, so the upper body doesn't move too much with regards to like the movement left and right, etc. Try to get a little bit deeper or a little bit longer in the range each time if you can. You've got about 30 seconds or so to go. Again, a lot of these movements, we're holding it for quite, or moving through that movement, should I say, for quite a long time, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Okay. You want to sort of attract some stimulus inside the position and through the movement. Got about 20 seconds to go. Last couple of reps. All right, and relax. Bring that foot in slowly. I always want to try and be as slow as we can through this. And we'll swap sides. So again, sitting down almost onto the heel and then coming forward. Remember, it's really just about the hips moving forwards and backwards. It's the last stretch we're doing out of this mobility class today. Again, not a huge amount of exercises. And you'll know after quite a short period of time which mobility classes work for you and which ones and what it correlates to, i.e. if you're doing a squat day, for example, you might pick a specific hip mobility session, or you just might do one that works because it opens up your hips more specifically. There's no right or wrong. We've got a minute to go now. Again, main areas inside the inner thighs, really getting a nice deep stretch. Last 45 seconds of the class. Less than 30 seconds to go now, guys. last few seconds, and then just slowly bring your leg in. And then you can just have a seat wherever you like. I'm just going to put the sunglasses on while I have a quick chat with you so you don't go blind. So that was today's session, guys. Really good one. Already I can feel that my hips are open. So this is a 15-minute mobility class. Remember, we're looking for about 30 minutes of exercise a day, so we can add this on to a nice long meditation. We can do another mobility class, maybe go for a neck one, another hip one, whatever you want. Okay guys, have an awesome day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all the social media outlets. Any questions, let me know. Have a good one. Out.